square to write the quadratic function f of x is equal to x squared minus 2x minus 8 in standard form. Over on the left side here, I've written the standard form of a quadratic function. That is, f of x is equal to a times the quantity x minus h squared plus k. So we want to take this quadratic function, f of x is equal to x squared minus 2x minus 8, and rewrite it so that it's in standard form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down the first two terms, x squared minus 2x, and I'm going to deliberately leave some space here. And I'm going to put my minus 8 out here a little bit. Now what I want to do is I want to look at the linear term. And we have a 2 here. So I'm going to be completing the square using that linear term. Before I do it, I need to make sure that the leading coefficient is 1. And in this problem, the leading coefficient is 1. That's the number in front of the x squared. So to complete the square, I'm going to take half of the middle number, half of the 2, or half of the negative 2, and square it. Since we are squaring it, the result will be positive. So what I'm going to write down is that I have 1/2 of 2, or if you prefer, you can write it as 2 over 1. And then whatever that number happens to be, I'm going to square it. So half of 2 gives us 1. And so in the square brackets there, that simplifies to 1. And we have 1 squared, which is equal to 1. Now, this is the amount that I'm going to add to create a trinomial here that is a perfect square trinomial. So I'm going to add 1 here. This is a function, and I can't change the function. So if I add 1, then I'm also going to subtract 1. By adding and subtracting 1, the net change is 0. So here we have a trinomial, and that's a perfect square trinomial, meaning that I can factor that. We have x squared minus 2x plus 1 right here. So this is going to factor into x multiplied by itself gives us x squared. So it will factor into x and x as the first term of the binomials. And then I know that 1 multiplied by 1 is 1. If this sign is negative here, then both binomials will have a negative sign. I can condense the way I've written this and write it as x minus 1 squared. So if I factor this trinomial, x squared minus 2x plus 1, I can write it as x minus 1 squared. These two numbers here, I will combine. A negative 8 and a negative 1 will give us a negative 9. And so the quadratic function x squared minus 2x minus 8 in standard form is f of x is equal to x minus 1 squared minus 9. And this is the function in standard form.